Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? So a couple days ago, I did a video titled, Let's Talk About Trump's Body Count, which angered a lot of you, which is good because that's ultimately what I wanted. I wanted people to get angry. I wanted people to leave, and you have. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. I know people out there don't quite get why I did it like that. They don't quite understand my plan, but trust me when I say it's all part of the plan, because what I talked about was so light in general criticism that so many people got so insanely upset over it. It's just absolutely kept proving my point time and time and time again. So allow me to quickly kind of run through it one more time to give you the general idea, the gist of what I was talking about, and why it's important that our leaders actually pay attention to the things that they say. So in this situation, Trump tweeted out a ringing endorsement, because that's what it was. It was a ringing endorsement for an experimental cure, or a treatment. I want to be fair. It was for an experimental treatment that had not been pushed through the FDA yet, but the FDA, according to Trump, was quote unquote moving mountains in order to get this to the forefront, to the front line, and make sure that it works. There is a doctor out of New York who is treating it to about 2,000 cases that he's treating, or 200 people in a town of 35,000, of which he's the doctor of, and he has been seeing some solid results, which is great. At no point am I faltering the treatment. If this helps keep people safe and happy and healthy-ish during COVID-19, I'm on board with it. I just want to make that abundantly clear. My concern and my criticism and my complaints has everything to do with how Donald Trump put this information out there, and how I feel that it is in fact woefully irresponsible on his part to list it in the way that he did, and to not take active measures and active steps to not do it again. So again, let me explain, because a lot of you out there, I don't think actually listened to the last video, and that's okay. I get it. It was a bit of a hyperbolic title, and you guys came in hot, and I was hot. It's fine. When Trump tweets out the ingredients of this, the drugs used in this treatment, this experimental treatment, and gives people the names of it, that is a ringing endorsement. It is. It's absolutely a ringing endorsement. And as a result of that, outside of the 68-year-old Arizona gentleman who died from consuming fish tank cleaner thinking that it was one part of this two-part concoction, we have actually had medical professionals, pharmacists, that have come out and said that there are people out there who have lupus who actually need these drugs, who are unable to get them because they're on back order, because now all of a sudden there's kind of like the magic hour cocktail, and those particular drugs are being bought up. Other pharmacists have come out and saying that dentists who have been trying to prescribe this stuff to their friends and their family, they've been denied those prescriptions because it's out of their wheelhouse. And it does come across in some cases, not every case, but in some cases, that there are people out there who are wildly using this thing. They're trying to get their hands on this because Trump talked about it, which is through the ripple effect, impacting people's lives by maybe people who need the drugs getting it because it's being hoarded by people who don't need it, but are so fearful of what's happening, and rightfully so, that they took the president at absolute face value, put their faith and their trust in him, and then they took that and they acquired that. We keep talking about and joking about all the mass TP purchases at Costco and Walmart and Safeway and everywhere else where you can't find toilet paper to save your damn life. And it's quite frankly the same type of situation. It's all about scarcity and it's all about fear. That's what it is. So Trump's tweet, while he probably, and I'm going to give him the credit here, had the very best of intentions, him putting it out there like that was woefully and wildly irresponsible, 100%. And as a result, a man is dead. That is an irrefutable fact. It's an undeniable fact. And it doesn't matter how many of you want to sit there and beat your chest and try to argue against it. That is what happened. Without that tweet, without those ingredients, that man would be alive. Does he and his wife bear responsibility for what happened ultimately? Yes. Am I saying that Trump should be held liable for this? No. But on a moral level, from the president of the United States of America, he should be held more accountable. And I know I'm not the only one who thinks this, and I wish more people would really step the hell up, because honestly, I've gotten a lot of messages from people that completely agree with me, but they're not saying anything because they just don't want to be mobbed by Trump supporters, which is unfortunately how things are on YouTube right now. That's just the damn nature of it. So Trump should not have put the ingredients of the drug or of the treatment in the tweet, 100%. And that is my biggest complaint. So when I say I want him to take accountability and responsibility and to be better, I am legitimately referring to him not making those kind of claims. Say that there's a treatment that's being worked on, more information will come in the future from the FDA, actual medical professionals. That is the responsible thing. You don't put out the idea of a miracle cure. And that is exactly what happened. Again, there is no denying that fact. That is an indisputable, undeniable fact that he put out that information and people looked at it as if it was a miracle treatment for COVID-19. Again, you cannot argue that. No matter how much you try to argue that, it simply won't work. I'm going to have to call facts over reels here. Your feelings don't mean shit. Sorry. That's the reality of it. And all I want from him in this time of crisis is to not make those kind of bold statements. And that's the biggest problem with Trump. He's a narcissist. And so when he wants to, and he's in hospitality and he's a salesman and all of those things. So when the reporters talk to him, when the media talks to him, he wants to sell it as if this is going to be the best thing for America. And in his mind, he probably believes it, but there's still a level of responsibility there. And people have said, well, what about you? You're an influencer? Well, what if you say, don't you have responsibility? Yeah, I do. If I were to make claims like that and put claims like that are out there, and I was wrong, I would at least have the ethical decency to retract said statements and go, I was wrong. I got my information wrong. I'll do better in the future. And I've done that multiple times over the years when either I've been given bad information or I jumped the gun on a certain story, because I've done that before, I'll be honest. And I retract that information and I make sure to be more mindful of it in the future, because that is being accountable to your audience, to your base. That is being accountable, in Trump's case, to the American people, and not putting people in such a frightened state where they take drastic measures like ingesting fish tank cleaner in order to protect themselves from this virus. For some reason, that entire thing was lost on so many people. But I do appreciate a lot of the comments that I got, good and bad. And a lot of people out there were just coming at it from the title alone and trying to argue against that. But you can't really argue against that because it's true. Without that tweet, that man would be alive. With an altered tweet, that man would be alive. That's the facts. Now, we can ask that he just doesn't do it again, or that he's more careful and more measured in the response. But deep down, if you're a Trump supporter, you know you're not going to get that. You're going to get the showman. You're going to get the person who likes hospitality. You're going to get the person that lies so much that there's a running tally on PolitiFact. Over 16,000 times in less than 4 years. In 3 years, somewhere in 3 years. 16,000 times Trump has lied, provably lied or spread misinformation or twisted or altered the truth. We are at a point in time right now where that kind of irresponsibility cannot be allowed to continue. And if you still believe that the president is the best for America, then you should want him to be the best president he can be and actually hold his feet to the fire over this, rather than just kind of go, well, he didn't do anything wrong. That's where we are. You either want to make this country great again, or you want to let it be in the status quo run by a megalomaniac, narcissist, hotel salesman, reality TV show host who has fundamentally bungled things to the point where we are. That's the truth. That's the facts. Them the reals. Take your feels and GTFO. Really, you got to start living in the present. You got to start living in the now, because a lot of people are going to die if they don't take this more seriously. There were 100,000 new cases in the last 24 hours from what I was reading. We are nowhere near the end of this. We are at the beginning. And we should want quick, decisive, truthful information coming out of the administration. And that's not what we're getting. And they know it. And now they are rapidly trying to cover it up. And you guys are complicit if you do not hold their feet to the fire. Do not hold his feet to the fire. You guys are complicit. Ignorance is not bliss in this situation. You can easily do the research. You can easily make the connections yourself. You can easily figure it out. There we go. Anyway, Your thoughts, your opinions. I can't wait to read them. I'll talk to you guys all later. Please remember, if you don't like the video, feel free to unsubscribe. I'm okay with that. Let's just move on. Let's just part ways. Clearly, we don't have a common goal anymore for the direction of the channel, the direction of political discourse in this country. That's entirely fine. I implore you to go and find someone who speaks to your ideals and feeds you a load of shit. Have yourself a great day, everybody, and remember, wash your hands, spay and neuter your dogs, and peace the hell out.